I'm Madeline from Sheen Slings, and this is the Lenny Lamb Light carrier. There are so many things I love about this carrier. The first of which is the fact that it comes in its own integrated mesh carry bag, which keeps it all neat and tidy and packed down small, which makes it really easy to slip under the buggy when not in use or in a bag, and just keeps it tidy and free from getting damaged or snagged or anything. And then when you are ready to use it, just easily pops out of this bag. And then the little bag just scrunches up and goes inside the pocket of the carrier, ready for when you need it. And then we're good to go. So let me take you through this carrier from waistband to top, waistband upwards, and I'll take you through everything this carrier does. So the first thing I'm going to show you, before I put the waistband on, is that it has a width adjustment system. So we can adjust the width of the panel through these Velcros here. So if I snap that off, you can see, and we can make this narrower or wider, like so. There we go, like that. And it completely changes the width of the carrier and the shaping to adjust from a much larger baby right down to a much smaller baby. So realistically, this will fit right from newborn. I would say probably 2 or 3 weeks, realistically. And then it will continue to grow right up until around 2 years of age. And they've helpfully put like this little chart with different sizings, and it's in Polish on one side and English on the other side, so that you can easily size it for your baby. And compared to previous Lenny carriers and also other carriers that adjust in this way, look how flat it goes. So sometimes these carriers where they ruche up, it gets really bulky, and then as a consequence it doesn't actually fit newborns very, very well, because there's just so much bulk at their legs when it's squished down. Whereas this really does sit really flush and makes a lovely small width for a smaller baby, which I will show you in a second. But let's next look at the waistband and get this carrier on. So waistband wise, it's fairly wide but not overly wide, not as wide as something like a Tula, probably more similar to something like an Ergo, but it's very squishy, and that squishiness means it really adjusts for different shapes and sizes really well. It's a carrier I've seen work on a great many different body shapes and sizes, including very petite parents and plus size parents. We have a huge amount of webbing, so it will really go out a long distance and works brilliantly for many, many plus size parents. But likewise, well, actually this length isn't overly long, so it works really well for petite parents. So sometimes carriers don't actually tighten enough for petite parents, but this is one that fits an absolute massive range of people. And that softness means that no matter your shape, it tends to just sort of mold to fit you. Soft, but also you can see it's got a level of stiffness and a level of support. So really great foundation as baby grows to help spread that weight for you. As ever, waistbands tend to be the deal breakers for people. Doesn't fit everybody, but this is one of the carriers that I find fits more people than pretty much anything else. And then as we work our way up, so the panel itself is made from Lenny Lamb's absolutely fabulous woven wrap material. So pretty much all their carriers are made from this, and it is so soft, straight out the bag. Just really soft, really beautiful, really lovely. I can't stop stroking it. Never can when I'm using these carriers. And then as we come up the panel, you can't really see it, but while this part is literally just 2 layers of the soft woven wrap material, just right by the legs, there's a little bit of padding just at the legs to give a little bit of cushioning where their legs come out of the carrier. It's on both sides, and likewise at the top of the carrier, we've again got a much thicker sort of semicircle of padding right here, just to give some really nice support behind the back of baby's head, while the rest of the panel is really soft and malleable. So again, we'll just adapt to lots of different sized babies and grow with them. So I've put the waistband on the absolute narrowest for a little doll, my little baby. And then to match, I will shorten the back panel, and you can see as I tighten these, it really shrinks down the back panel for a much smaller child. And then as they grow, we've got all this growing space, and likewise we had all that growing space down there. So you can see how this carrier is really realistically working from newborn through to about 2 years. I know a lot of carriers say they will do that, but this is one that genuinely delivers on its promises. So if I grab my teeny tiny newborn doll, and I'll just gently snug them up. So this doesn't always work right from the beginning with babies who are very squished up, because we do need to have just enough space to be able to bring that around their legs. So with a very scrunched up, brand new newborn, this might not feel quite so comfortable until they are ready to sit like this. But generally for most babies, by the time we're looking at 2, 3, 4 weeks old, they would be ready to sit like this. And then you can see with using this, by getting this down, this is going to sit right in the back of baby's neck and give them beautiful support. And then I've got a couple of ways I can do up the straps. I'm going to do them crisscross. I'm going to put one strap over one shoulder, reach and find it behind me. I can make it longer, and then it clicks in here. But I have not made it long enough at the back. So let's talk about the shoulder straps before I do it up. The shoulder straps are, again, firm but really soft and squishy, which means they really adjust for different shapes and backs. They are fairly wide but not overly wide, and again really squishy, so they're going to sit really well on different shapes and size shoulders. And then the strap will adjust from either end, so from this end or that end. If you are crossing, it is worth letting some of that out so that it's long enough. Now I should be able to, when I put it behind my back, find it and have enough space to then click into the panel here. And I have got a hairband elastic, so if I'm worried about this pinging off, I can thread this through the hairband elastic like so, and click it in, but I don't have to use it if I'm not worried about undoing it by accident and it pinging off. And then to tighten, I can either pull backwards here, which can be quite a hard motion, or if I can find this one here, I can pull this one forwards. That's going to depend a lot on your flexibility, which one will feel easier. And this is not the only way of doing up this carrier. So it offers both the cross shape, which I am doing now, and the H shape. So give me a second and I will show you both. But for the cross shape, it looks like so. And let me just get my baby comfortable. There we go. And you can see just how well that is sitting on a teeny weeny newborn sized doll. Even by the time baby is 2 to 4 weeks, they're going to be bigger than this, and then it grows really wonderfully. So this is the cross shape, and then it will also do up in a H shape. I use the hairband elastic. Right, so in the H shape, instead we use this buckle, and it's actually magnetic, which means it makes it much easier doing it up behind your back, because as long as you get these in the vague vicinity of each other, they will self-locate. So if you are putting your arms in and then doing that strap up later, it is a lot easier to do than a lot of other carriers, but I still prefer to do it up first and then do these up, or have this done up and put my arms in. And again, I can either pull backwards, or I can find this strap behind me. Helps to have it a bit longer, and then when I get it, it's really easy to pull it down to tighten. Again, get that one down, and then forwards to tighten. Just check you're not riding a little bit high. So there we go, perfect. Now you can see the H shape on my back. So this carrier will offer 3 carrying positions and those 2 options for parents, cross or H. You can see this is probably the absolute smallest baby that you could carry in this carrier, and then it grows all the way up to 2 years of age. It does this position, so that's on your front looking towards you. It does a hip carry, and it also does a back carry. which is great once your baby is a little bit older and one of those how it's getting out to 2 years of age. It does all three carries really, really well. It's really comfortable, and it is honestly one of the carriers that I go for when parents are really different shapes and sizes, because it's one of the carriers that just fits so many different shapes and size parents, and it's so, so soft. It's also a carrier I get out a lot when people are asking me about the Artopopy, because it's really, really beautiful. Lenny Lamb make it in a whole range of beautiful different patterns, and it's got a similar aesthetic to the Artopopy, whilst doing those three carrying positions, inwards, hip and back, better than the Artopopy, and having a wider fit range than the Artopopy. So the Artopopy tends to work quite well on petite parents, but it doesn't work very well on plus size parents, and it only offers the cross, doesn't offer the H as well, and its back carry is very limited. So this can often be a much better alternative, not to mention price-wise. This carrier retails for 130, whereas the Artopopy retails for 350. And at 130 for a carrier that genuinely goes from newborn to 2 years and is so well made, so will happily last you through several children, you know, or well, you might not be having several children, but well, then you can gift on to friends, and so, or sell on Vinted. Yeah, it's a really, really, really genuinely good value for money, and that's one of the main reasons I retail it. It's a beautifully made carrier that offers fantastic value for money, particularly consider if you're going to use it every day and it just lasts for so long. I really can't recommend it enough. If you have any questions about this carrier at all, please do drop them in the comments below. If this video has been helpful, please do like and subscribe. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.